Hi everyone, and welcome back to Manda T and Me. Today we're going to be switching gears a little bit, and we're going to be starting a new game called Scarlet Hollow. I actually backed the Kickstarter for this, like, last year. I watched Gab Smolders play the first chapter of it, and I was like, yes, I want to play that. So I backed the Kickstarter, I bought a key for myself and my mom, because I knew she would love the style of it. This whole game is hand-drawn by a single person. If you're interested in the game, I would really encourage you to go and check out the Steam page about it, because it really is quite incredible. I don't want to give too much away. Some of you are probably already familiar with it, but for those who aren't, yeah, let's keep the mystery around it. It deserves. I will say that some of the topics in this game are a little on the heavy side. So if you're looking for something that's just light and fluffy, like some of my other content, maybe this one isn't for you. But for those who are gonna come hang out, go ahead and get yourself something cozy, and let's go ahead and get started. That went down the wrong way. Anyway, my name is Manda. And I live in the city of... Oh, let's pick something funny. Oh, there's so many good, like, funny names from, like, places where... like on the East Coast especially. Okay, well, I live in Central California, so let's go ahead and we'll just pick San Francisco. Oh, I like that you have a choice. But today we'll do she and her. Confirm. Yes. Okay. So this was something they had talked about in the Kickstarter, that if they had gotten enough backers, that they were going to add talk to animals as an option. I'm familiar with some of these, but I'll go ahead and read them off to you. So, powerful build. Strong, athletic, pinnacle of fitness. Can shotgun a root beer in 3 seconds. Oh my god. That would give me such indigestion, all that carbonation. Now, I'm the first one to say that I'm a basic girl. I love me some seltzer, but I gotta sip it. Alright. Mystical, strange and unusual. You see the threads of reality in a way others cannot. Probably a little too logical for that one. Talk to animals. You can talk to animals. Animals can talk to you. A gift and a curse. Street smart. Smells BS. Also good at BS. No door can hold you. Keen eye. Observant. Picks up on vibes. Understands others' perspectives. Book smart. You know a lot of fun facts. Research is your favorite activity. Straight A student. Hot, attractive, charming. People want to either be with you or be you. Okay, so we get to pick two. I'm gonna go with street smart and keen eye. I'm definitely like a sit back and observe kind of person most of the time, so yeah. You jolt awake as the bus hits a particularly nasty bump. You feel like you'd only just managed to start drifting off, and now here you are, awake again, and still exhausted. For a moment, you're hazy on the details of where exactly here is, confusing this bus with the many others that came before it. But as your mind continues to reassert its existence in the waking world, the past few days comes back into focus. The long-lost cousin, the bad news, The 26 hours of bus rides with countless late-night stops and seedy depots that felt unsafe even in the middle of the day. You wouldn't normally find yourself traveling like this, but your cousin bought the tickets. The funeral of her mother, your aunt, seemed like something you shouldn't ignore, even considering your own late mother's rocky relationship with this side of the family. Fortunately, the end of your long journey is in sight. You're almost in Scarlet Hollow. So anyway, as I was saying, this guy. Oh no, he's still here. He's been sitting next to you for the past 5 hours, talking at you without pause. You're not sure he even stopped when you started to doze off. At first you thought he was just being friendly, but that was several hours of one-sided conversation ago. I was up in Maryland looking for work, but mostly messing around because I was a dumb teen. Me and my buddies, we were doing our usual prank stuff, you know, pushing joggers into the harbor, that sort of thing. Who pushes someone into the harbor? That's so rude. I'm just going to ignore him. Like, do not encourage his bad behavior. You do your best to keep a blank face. Waking up and, by extension, accidentally giving this strange man permission to keep talking to you was a mistake. So this girl comes up to us, swinging her purse, yelling about how she was going to call the cops or whatever. It was hilarious. She actually hit my friend, and he said it hurt a lot. So I guess she really was mad and not just playing. So she kept swinging, and soon enough, she lost her balance and fell into the harbor all on her own. We didn't even have to push her. We had a good laugh and fished her out, and her phone got soaked so she couldn't call the cops on us. We wound up hanging out all day. That sounds like a kidnapping. She kind of became my girlfriend after that, and we've been on and off for about a year, so it's pretty serious. Though about 5 months ago, she tried to break up with me, like for real. And geez, you ever just get so mad you just want to kill somebody? I'm just going to smile and pretend he didn't say anything. I really just don't want to acknowledge him. Like a toddler, you know, when they are having a tantrum, like, just ignore them. Just ignore them. As long as they're not hurting themselves or someone else, just let them cry it out. This guy obviously needs to talk out whatever's in his brain space. You smile and pretend he didn't see that. I knew you'd get me. We understand each other. Somebody trying to break your heart, that changes a person. Makes them want to do things they never thought they'd want to do. I honestly could have killed that woman. Ha! No. Anyway, she's giving birth to our son right now, so I'm trying to get up to Virginia to be there for it. But I don't know if I'm, like, into that stuff, so I might just wind up on a bus to New York or something instead. I've always wanted to go there. You know what? Honestly, as terrible as this sounds, this guy seems like a real loser, and she's probably better off single parenting than dealing with this mess right here. Remain silent. You sit, awash in horror, but doing your best to keep a neutral face as this man admits he's thought about murdering the soon-to-be mother of his child, a child whose birth he is currently missing and considering ditching to go have fun in New York. Anyway, where'd you say you were headed? Not gonna answer. You don't say a word. The last thing you need right now is for him to know where you're going to be staying for the next week. If you aren't getting off at my stop, then you must be headed to Scarlet Hollow, right? Or the Holler, as they call it in these parts. That's the only other stop until this bus turns around. I ride it pretty often, so I'd know. Almost nobody ever goes up there. Though, actually, I had a couple buddies who went up there to work in the mine. There's a coal mine up in the Holler, you see, and there's always a job listing or two on the boards around here. I've never wanted to do that kind of thing myself. I like my lungs the way they are. Thanks, but my buddies got desperate enough to try it. Considering this situation, I'm guessing he pollutes his lungs in other ways. I haven't heard from them in a while now. Now that I think about it, I should see if they're on Facebook. See how they're doing up there. I hope they didn't die. He looks back at his phone, for once focused on something other than you. Oh, this is me. It was lovely meeting you. I hope you don't get too bored without me around to talk to. Here, I have something for you. The stranger rifles through his pack before presenting you with a dripping bag of peanuts. They're boiled peanuts. I got them at a gas station a few buses back. I noticed you haven't eaten much, so I figured you could use them more than me. Plus, they dripped all over my bag, so I don't want to carry them anymore. No thanks. You put your hand up and say no. I'm not really hungry. There's still a good 45 minutes left in your journey, pal, assuming nothing goes wrong. Best to have them on hand. The young man sets the peanuts down on the empty seat next to him. The juices dribble out through the bottom of the bag and into the upholstery, instantly soaking it in peanut brine. And with that, I leave you. Safe travels, friend. I already don't like nuts. And no. And just like that, you're alone. The stranger's peanut soaking into the seat across from you. Maybe you can finally get some sleep. Next stop, Scarlet Hollow, end of the line. Almost there. The bus finally comes to a stop. It brakes squealing as it deposits you in front of the Scarlet Hollow bus station. Well, the side reads bus station, but calling that feels disingenuous. At best, it's a kiosk. Though for a small town like this, you're amazed there's so much as a road, let alone a bus that drives on it every week. The driver quickly shuts the door behind you and starts the engine, kicking up dust clouds as he pulls away, eager to leave you and this place behind. Hey, Amanda. You instantly recognize the worn young woman from the few public photos on our Facebook page. She's your cousin Tabitha, and she looks annoyed to be here. Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of match her mood. Hey, Tabitha. Come on, let's get back to the estate. I don't want to spend any more time down here than I have to. Your cousin turns and motions to an old BMW parked near the bus kiosk. You follow her, clambering into the dusty relic. It doesn't take much driving before the only signs of civilization are the car you're in and the road you're on. Tabitha maintains an icy silence as she focuses on the road. So dialogue options can impact the story. Usually taken without dialogue options labeled Explore can usually be taken without advancing the story. They can impact relationships and unlock additional story paths, so choose carefully. Dude, you cannot say that. No. I guess, how are you holding up? Fine. Yeah, I probably shouldn't talk about me. That just seems, no. Okay, well, if that ever changes, I'm here for you, okay? Even after I go home. Sure. Tabitha stares straight ahead, her expression tense and icy. So the funeral. It's on Sunday, right? Yep, like I told you. Need any help planning? If you ever need help with errands or scheduling, feel free to ask. I know this stuff isn't easy. It's actually been fine. Just needed the coffin and someone to dig a hole. Tabitha stares straight ahead, her expression tense and icy. Yeah, again, just gonna match her demeanor. You decide to sit in silence with your cousin as the car eases up the steep mountain road. Okay, this house is like falling off the mountain. And here it is, the Scarlet Estate. Though it's seen better days, its crumbling elegance is not lost on you. Someone used to cramped apartments in gray cities. Your mother told you about this place many times before she passed. always with an anger burning beneath her words. The faded majesty you once imagined doesn't quite compare with what's in front of you, a jarring blend of opulence and ruin. As you stare at it perched on the crumbling cliffside, you can't help but feel like something that should have been left to rot a long, long time ago. As soon as you enter, you're hit with a blast of dusty air. Everything in this room has been here for much longer than you've been alive, each object cemented in place with a layer of dust and cobwebs. You can hear doors creak on their hinges and the aches and moans of ancient floorboards as the house itself sways in the wind. Welcome to our family's humble estate. Unfortunately, due to the current state of the house, only a few rooms will be safely accessible during your stay. I wouldn't go wandering around anywhere else if you value your limbs. The floors have been known to give out. If you know it's good for you, you'll stick to your room, your bathroom, and the kitchen, and hallways, I guess. But only the hallways you need to use to get to those places. I'll show you around so you know where it's safe to walk. You can leave your bags here for the time being. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I don't think I've ever been in a building that feels as powerful as this. You're lying through your teeth, but Tabitha doesn't need to know that. In fact, not only does she not need to know you're lying, but she won't know, ever. You're a very good liar. It is. The estate was the prize jewel of the region for a long time. It's quite a magnificent piece of architecture, even now. Shall we take our tour? Follow me. You put your bags down and follow Tabitha through the long, dusty hallway. She delicately steps over holes and tears in the floor, and you do your best to trace her steps. Kitchen. On Wednesdays, a woman from town comes in and does the cleaning. Her name is Janie. I wouldn't recommend socializing with her. She'll talk your ear off. If you need any food, there's fixings for peanut butter and jelly. Don't touch my mac and cheese or my ice cream. Those are off limits. Oh, and you can also access the garden through here, but it's pretty wild, so I wouldn't if I were you. So we got some explore options. Is there somewhere in town I can buy food? I might want to eat something other than B&J this week. Is there somewhere in town we can get groceries? Well, aren't you fancy? Yeah, there's a general store. There's also a diner. I usually order my food in bulk online, though, so I wouldn't be going with you. Sweet, thanks. Cool, good talk. What an incredible kitchen. This is so nice. It's much bigger than what I'm used to in the city. Is that a kitchen island? It is, thank you. Alright, what's next? Bathroom, follow me. Great, it's been hours since I've gone. As the two of you leave the kitchen, you pass by a tuxedo cat on the countertop. Is that your cat? What's its name? Frou-Frou. Do not try to pet her. If she wants to be pet, she'll let you know. Yeah, not gonna pet someone's cat who, I mean, she's cute, but look at that face. She's gonna eat my arm. You decide to follow Tabitha's advice. Shall we move on? The bathroom awaits. You once again follow Tabitha through a long, dusty hallway. Maybe after a few nights it'll get easier to navigate these spaces, but for the time being you feel lucky to have not fallen through the floors. Guest bathroom. Not much to show. It's a bathroom. I'll wait outside here. Do what you must if you must. It's a nasty, wretched bathroom. Piles of junk sit untouched in the corners of the room, and mystery stains paint the floor. It's just empty paper towel rolls. Makes me wonder, like, is Tabitha super depressed or something? Because this is some stuff. Oh, I wonder what color that towel was to start with. Oh, why? I'm gonna lift the toilet seat. Bugs skitter from the bowl as you lift the seat. You know what? I've been camping. I've used a pit toilet. It's fine. Toilet's a toilet. It sure could be cleaner, but your business needs doing, and this is as good a place as any. You do what you must and rejoin your cousin out in the hall. Next up, guest bedroom. Last stop on the tour. Follow me. You and Tabitha briefly return to the foyer before climbing the stairs and reaching the guest room. The room smells old. Dust, mildew, wood rot. It has it all. A week of sleeping in this place might give you permanent lung damage. This is where you'll be staying. The linens are fresh. I had Janie wash them last week. I had to endure a half-hour rant about her kid to get her to do it, so you better be grateful. The closet is full of old family stuff, so you can't hang your clothes up, but you can use the dresser. It should be empty. What's with all the boxes? Old family stuff. Okay, I won't press you. Great, thanks. I guess who used to sleep here? When? This house is almost 150 years ago. Many people have slept here, and now you'll sleep here, carrying on the fine tradition of bedrooms being slept in. Well, it's an inviting room. Do you know how much I love cherubs? That chest is to die for. I'm surprised to see you have such discerning taste. Every last piece of furniture in this room is a genuine antique, handed down through the family for generations. I guess I'll start getting settled. Follow me. I'll take you back to the foyer so you can collect your belongings. I feel like Tabitha is super proud of the house, even though she doesn't really take care of it. It makes me wonder if she's just really depressed. Kind of just burdened with all of this. So I might as well I'm here for a week. I might as well at least appeal to the friendlier parts of her personality for now. This concludes our tour. I'm afraid I must return to my duties, so you'll have to entertain yourself for the rest of the day. Don't expect to see much of me. Tip. Let's see. Some dialogue options will open additional conversation paths, some right away and others down the line. I feel like this is pushing it, but like, I don't know. She just lost her mom. I don't know what happened when my mom left, but that has nothing to do with me. You asked me to come here, but you're acting all pissed off that I actually came. Can we just start fresh, now that it's just us? Okay, I'm sorry. I've been testy since you've gotten here. You haven't done anything wrong. I'm just under a lot of pressure right now. Please just stay out of my hair until later, okay? I have work to do. What kind of work do you do? I run the coal mine, same as every Scarlet who came before me. Except for you and your mom. It requires a lot of time and concentration, so I'd appreciate if you didn't keep me for long. Ooh. Can I come watch? What? No, the mine is dangerous. I can't babysit you and do my job. Oh. I have to. Hashtag girl boss. Damn, I can't believe you're only in your 20s and already running a coal mine. Don't patronize me. I know you have nothing to your name, Amanda. Any other inane questions before I leave? I won't keep you, but we should hang out when you get back. Alright. We'll see. There's a lot that needs to get done this week. Your cousin leaves through the front door. And now it's just you and the sprawling, decrepit estate. I kind of want to know. But it's like the first day, and I could really be like breaking her trust. So I'll head to town. With your cousin gone, and there's nothing for you really to do. You drop your bags off in your room and head out to explore town. If you had known you'd wind up having to walk all the way back to town, you probably would have just asked Tabitha to leave you at the bus stop, especially with how unhappy she seems to see you. If only you could wipe the slate clean between the two of you and bury some of the tension, though maybe her mother's funeral isn't the best time for something like that. Then again, maybe it's the perfect time. Continue down the path. It's really pretty out here. Finally, you made it back to town. The holler, as that guy on the bus called it, has probably seen better days. It still has a feeling of an idyllic country town, but its sidewalks are cracked and many of the storefronts are boarded up, their windows dusty with age. Looks like there's a little bookshop. General store. I bet this is like an apartment over a shop. A chill breeze sweeps down the lane, and you shudder, suddenly feeling as if you're peering into a grave. Oh, Popper! Gretchen, come back! Quit bothering strangers! Sorry about that. Gretchen can be very slippery when she wants to be, and she loves to get loose and cause havoc. Ah! I'm gonna pet the dog. You reach out and scratch Gretchen behind the ears. Her fur is soft and warm. She wheezes excitedly, lifting her little nose into your palm and licking your hand. Aw, I'm so glad you two are getting along. Isn't she just the cutest? With how energetic she gets, you'd never know she's 17. Oh my god, she's so golden aged. That's amazing. It sure is. I am hoping she beats the current record holder and make it to 19. Or better yet, 20. The more time we get together, the better. Isn't that right, Gretch? But what am I doing? I got so caught up in the excitement of meeting someone new, I entirely forgot to introduce myself. I'm Stella. It's not often I see a strange face up in the holler. Every now and then there's a new crop of coal folks, but you don't look dusty enough for that. You aren't in town for the funeral, are you? The Scarlet funeral? Yeah, let's just be straightforward. She seems nice. Introduce yourself. Hi, I'm Amanda. You must be Tabby's cousin, right? That's the only person I can think of who would come to town for the funeral. How's she holding up? To be honest, I'm a little worried about her, all alone up in that big house. She's definitely struggling. I don't think she's doing well. She's been icy, but I feel like she's putting it on as a front. She's always been a little rough around the edges. To be honest, it's always been hard to tell if that's just the way she is or if she's been putting on an act her whole life. To think she's been up in that old mansion all by herself, it'll probably be good for her now that you're staying there, even if she doesn't think so herself. Thanks for letting me know, by the way. How long have you known her? Oh, quite a long time. The town's really small, so everybody knows everybody else as far back as they can remember. Tabby and I got a little close when we were both in the school's production of A Midsummer Night's Dream. I was Puck, and she was Mustard Seed. As you might have expected, she was more than a little prickly, but I managed to soften her up a bit in the end. But then she graduated, and that was that. Oh, if you just got to town, you must be starving. I was just on my way to dinner for a coffee, and they've got amazing biscuits. My treat. I heard food. Oh, look at it. This place is great. The pleasant aroma of greasy breakfast food hangs heavy in the air. In contrast with the empty, lifeless atmosphere of the family estate, the diner is filled with the comforting din of human life. all of which grinds to a sudden halt as the patrons realize that a stranger has entered the establishment. It's a small town. They're gonna find out. Hi everyone, I'm Amanda. Just in town for the funeral. Before anyone can respond, you and Stella casually slide into a booth, pretending the whole town didn't just gawk at you like a sideshow attraction. Oh, I like that sound effect. Crunch. Looks like your entrance was a little more dramatic than you were expecting, huh? Folks around here don't meet many strangers, as is, and with who you're related to, well, let's just say you'll be the talk of the town for a while. As you settle into the booth, you can't help but pick up some of the murmurs of conversation around you. Let's be nosy. Stella pats Gretchen while you take a close look around the diner. At the counter, 2 policemen and a woman you assume to be the owner shoot sidelong glances at your direction while whispering to each other. Vivian's kid. Never thought we'd actually meet her. Looks so much like her. Oh yes, those eyes are unmistakable, that haunted look. I always thought it'd go away once she finally got out of this town, but I guess unhappiness was baked into her DNA. A young mother and her syrup-stained child sit at the table across from you. Mommy, who's that? Don't stare, Tulip. That's Miss Tabitha's cousin. Ooh, that's why she looks so sad. I would look sad too if I had to have Miss Tabitha as a cousin. Do you think Tabitha's cousin is mean too? I don't know. I'll find out next time I go to visit Miss Tabitha. Are you going to finish our pancakes? They're almost cold, Sweet Pea, and we've got to get home to help Daddy. In the far back corner, a man sits alone at a small table sipping coffee and reading a paper. Why are the strangers who wander in the town never gorgeous blonde ladies of an appropriate age? Why is it always coal boys, punks, and whippersnappers? Lastly, a group of coal miners hunched around the corner booth, readily scarfing down heaping plates of food. So that's the boss's cousin. There's that funeral this week, if I'm remembering right. For old Miss Pearl Ann. May she rot in peace. Oh, let the lady rest, Lloyd. One shouldn't speak ill of the dead, no matter how foul they were, especially before they've been so much as lain to rest. If you'd been around in her heyday, you'd be speaking ill too, Tommy. He's right. Nastiest woman I ever met. That Tabitha's a blessing compared to her. Curse the whole lot of them. May every scarlet burn in hell. Oh no. That's enough of that. Hey Stella, I went ahead and fixed you up a coffee. They gracefully place a cup of specially brewed coffee in front of Stella. Aw, shucks, thanks Avery. Aw, and here's some bacon for the little lady. Gretchen sniffs the bacon and digs in. Oh my goodness, Gretchen. Anything for you? I guess a biscuit and coffee. Could I have a biscuit and coffee, please? I heard they were really good. Best in the county. Avery pours the fragrant brew into the empty cup in front of you. They linger after pouring your coffee, turning to you nervously. Oh, and sorry for your loss. Before you have a chance to respond, they're gone. Glad you took my advice with the biscuit. You won't regret it. Anyways, the funeral's not till Sunday, right? That gives you quite a bit of time to slum around town. I'm trying to think if there are any cool events going on this week. There's always the reading adventure at the library, which is supposed to be for little kids, but I do it every month anyway. Oh, and I'm pretty sure Avery's throwing a party Saturday night, so that's a fun thing to look forward to. And there's the weekly Sunday potluck. That should be right after the funeral too, so it'll be a special occasion. Cool. Sounds neat. Maybe I'll check out some of these things. Anyway, those are all the big events I can think of. As for the day-to-day, any idea how you want to kill time for the rest of the week? Do you have something in mind? Something's telling me this is a loaded question, and you've got something in mind. Was I being that obvious? My job means I spend a lot of time in the woods with the camera, and it's always better when someone else is there to... Before Stella can finish, Avery returns, biscuit in tow. Here's your biscuit. Winnie says it's on the house. She sends her condolences. Aw, thanks, it looks great. Thanks, Avery. It looks great. You pick up the biscuit. It's delicate and fluffy. It nearly crumbles at your touch. Buttery warmth emanates from its surface. You take a bite. It melts in your mouth as if nothing but butter suspended in a thin matrix of dough. Truly, this is a perfect biscuit. Wow. This is really good. This is a really good biscuit. Wow. I'm so glad you like it. Avery lingers at the table for a moment. So, has Stella mentioned she's famous? Oh, Avery, I'm not famous. Look, if you're not going to go around tooting your own horn, you know I'm going to do it for you. Stella sighs. I'm a YouTuber. Oh, wow, that's rad. I've never met a YouTuber before. I'd love to check out your channel at some point. Aw, thanks. It's nothing much. It pays the bills, but it's mostly a passion project, you know? She's selling herself short, Amanda. Her stuff is amazing. She hunts cryptids. I think the best video to start with would be the river one. Not the lake one, but you know, the controversial one. Yeah, the Catawba? Yeah, the Catawba River Runner. I didn't expect much out of the footage at the time, but it wound up being my most popular video by far. So the River Runner is a cryptid that's only known from a single sighting. 2 Boy Scouts thought they saw something big and weird in the Catawba River, and that's all I had to go on. But then I wound up catching this on camera. Stella pulls out her phone and shows you a clip of something in a river. Some folks say it was a beaver, but if that was the case, it'd be at least twice the size of any beaver I've ever seen. I also had people saying it was a dog, or even a capybara that must have escaped from a local wildlife sanctuary. I'm still not sure what it was, but I'm the one who saw the thing with my own 2 eyes. That's an honest-to-God cryptid right there. No way that's a beaver or a dog, and there's no way a capybara would be swimming in a river in the mountains of North Carolina. Unless there's some North American colony of capybaras in Appalachia, but that would still count as a cryptid, wouldn't it? Yeah, until someone catches a capybara up here, that would still count as a cryptid by most standards. My comment section went nuts for this footage, and from there it spread to Twitter pretty fast. There were polls for days. I even had actual experts weighing in. It was all really cool, the experience. And it meant the video did some really great numbers. Personally, I'm a fan of the capybara theory. Sure, it's not like any local sanctuaries are missing one, but there's always people keeping exotic animals as pets. Kind of a sewer gator type situation. Exactly. Some exotic pet owners set it free and now will forever roam the Catawba, confusing Boy Scouts and YouTube commenters for years to come. So, speaking of things to do around town, I was actually planning on filming this week's video tonight. I was wondering if maybe you'd like to come along. It's a pretty easy one this week. We wouldn't even have to camp anywhere. I'm just gonna go after the... Wait, no spoilers! Whoops, sorry Avery. It's okay. I should probably get back to it instead of standing around chatting with friends. See you all around. Now that the coast is clear, I'm going after Skunk Ape. Heck yeah! Skunk Ape is hilarious. I saw a docu-special on it once. Stinky Bigfoot! Right? It should be a pretty fun video. It's hard to be serious when you're talking about something that's famous for smelling bad. Most skunk ape sightings are from Florida, but while I was doing research for last week's video, I came across a report where a lady from a town over claimed to have seen one on her deck, playing tug of war with her dog. And as I leave no stone unturned, I decided it was worth investigating. So, what do you say? Want to tag along? Hold the camera for me while I narrate against a darkening sky, that sort of thing? Absolutely. I'd love to come along. That's great. It's been a while since I've had anyone besides Gretchen out there with me. This is gonna be a lot of fun. I actually started the channel with a couple buddies of mine back in middle school, so it's kind of like a blast from the past. Me, Kanika, and Reese running around the woods, flipping over rocks, and bothering salamanders. Our videos were terrible, but we had a lot of fun, and that's all that mattered to us. You know, that gets me thinking. I wonder if they'd be down to come along with us, get the old gang back together. Though I guess Kanika has to close out the general store tonight, so I'm pretty sure she's a no-go. But Reese, I think there's a decent chance we could get him to come out of his hidey hole if he's up for it. Do you mind if I make a quick call? Stella pulls out her phone and dials it, waiting while it rings. Reese, dude, what's up? Feels like it's been forever. Aw, man, sorry to hear that. Do you want me to come by, or? Oh, okay, if you're really sure, but if you change your mind. Oh, I was just calling to ask if you want to come out to the woods tonight. I met somebody cool in town today. She's Tabitha's cousin. I know, yeah, just here for a week. Anyway, we're going out to look for Skunky. We could take on the easier trails if that would help. Dang, man, that sounds awful. I hope you take it easy tonight. I'll swing by sometime this week and we can have a more low-key hang. How's that? Yeah, I'll bring her. Talk to you soon. Bye, bud. Looks like it's just you and me, pal. Is he okay? He's not feeling well at all. He had a lot going on in the past. Gosh, 10 years or so? But I feel like it's gotten a lot worse recently. I can't remember the last time I saw him leave his house. Oh well, it's not my place to talk about, really. I just got a little excited thinking about having him along. He's hilarious. You'd love him. We should swing by his place sometime this week. Sure, that's nice. That'd be nice. I'd love to meet your friends. Awesome. I'll make it happen. He is definitely the trickier one to meet. Kanika is much easier to track down since she's at the general store basically every day. But friendship can wait. We've got a skunk ape to hunt. So we should probably head out if we want to make it up the mountain before it's too dark. Come on, let's blow this popsicle stand. You pause before getting up. Maybe it's time to make a good first impression. Leave a tip. You reach into your pocket and pull out a single crumpled dollar bill and quarter. As long as you don't get sick from the peanut butter and jelly, your meals will be free while you're here. Share the wealth where you've got it, you think to yourself. You leave the money on the table and follow Stella out of the diner. It hadn't been very cold when you first arrived in town, but as the sun dips closer and closer to the horizon, a chill descends upon the hollow, and you see your situation with renewed clarity. You're in a new place, far from civilization, and the people you know, following someone you just met into a dark forest in search of monsters. You feel strangely calm. The setting sun paints beautiful colors in the sky, fresh air fills your lungs, and pleasant songs of crickets trill around you as night descends. This is where you're supposed to be, with Stella by your side, a sweet smile on her face, and Gretchen plodding along in front without a care in the world. Alright guys, so before we go into the woods, I'm going to go ahead and save. And I think that's where we're going to leave it this time. We got to meet a whole bunch of new people. We got to see a really scary mansion. Never tell Tabby that. Tabby. She definitely does not strike me as a Tabby. But yeah, I guess if we're here, we might as well make the best of it. I can't imagine sitting in that house for a week is going to be healthy, both physically and emotionally, given our relationship with our family. So if you are looking forward to this series, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And as always guys, happy sipping.